This video is how to replace the nozzle tip on the FlashForge printers. So let's say you ever encounter an issue where it's indicating that it's printing but no filament is coming out, and you've already cleared it multiple times, as in you've already popped everything off the top, and basically the hot tip just is no longer getting hot. That's sometimes an issue that I've had with one or two of these printers before. Sometimes these little tips just need to be replaced. If you ever encounter that situation, first thing you'll do is, of course, open it. As I showed before in a previous video, pop the top off here. Make sure not to hit your little ribbon cable, otherwise you'll lose the camera connection. You then need to push down on this little button here on the Bowden tube, this white tube, the Bowden tube. Pull it up, because in all likelihood the preheat will not work. If it basically won't preheat and you can't pull it out, then you're going to have to lift it up manually so that you can expose what's left over. You will then snip it, and this can be free flowing. Now you've got to pull this little tip off. Again, make sure that it's cool. In order to do that, all you have to do, there's these two little black pinchers on the side, these little releases. You're going to need to press here and then wiggle it in this section here, and it pulls straight down. So you'll see that it plugs in right there, and there's little holds on the side. All you have to do is press that, and you pretty much pull it straight down. Now this one would pretty much either be discarded, or you can save it if you want to try to use it again. In these bags that say Quick Start, the Quick Start guide for the Adventurer 3 version 2, there's two different nozzle tips. This is the 0.4, and it indicates that this one's running at the 240 degrees Celsius. This one is a 0.3, so you're going to get a little bit finer printing, but it'll be slower, and that runs at 240. Then this one over here is 0.4, but it runs at 265. I haven't had a whole lot of luck using the 265s. They tend to be a little bit stringy, but you can try different settings with the slicers to see if that will work. Because I know that this one is in fact good, what I'm going to end up doing is actually just pushing it back in. So in order to replace it, I'm going to push this back up, line it up, and then it'll just pretty much go straight in. The fan's going to wind back down now that it's registered that it's there. You will very likely have to turn it off and make sure that it's a real good snug fit. I like to turn it off and then power cycle it, because sometimes it won't register that it's there. You'll flip it back on, and then I'm going to take this, plug it back in to the top, pull up to make sure that it's good and secure, and then I can go ahead and replace this. Give it a good little tap, make sure it's all snug. It's going to load, and then basically I'll just run through the preheat process with the filament. I'll just hit load. It's going to heat up, and it should be all good to go. It'll register that it's getting hot there. The fan will kick on, and then I wouldn't recommend touching it, but you can feel the heat coming off of here, just so that you know that it's working. And that's about it. And that should remedy your issue. If you're having basically a nozzle that no longer works, or if you're trying to put a smaller, finer tipped nozzle, again, it'll be slower but way more precise with the printing. Preheating, preheating, preheating. There it goes. You hear the clicking. I'm going to hit OK. And we see that it is hot and it is coming out, so we're all good. There it is. Now you know that you have a good working printer again.